Jeffrey Zinder is an attorney in Southern California who has been riding horses all his life. He's spent a lot of time with top trainers learning the art of horsemanship.
And then I trained with Ray Hunt, Tom Dorrance, John Lyons, Will Howe, people that understand how to communicate with a horse. We went through a lot of training with reining horses, performance horses, so that I could learn how to have my hands quiet enough and get the horses responsive enough. I've trained horses for civil police work. I've gone through the sheriff's training on horses. And a lot of it was simply getting the horse over its fear and getting the horse to understand what the rider wants. As soon as the horse understands, it's fine.
Jeff and his family live with their horses on a small ranch. When he first saw the Mikmar training bit, he had a typical first impression.
I saw the Mikmar bit in the various publications and quite frankly looked like an absolute gimmick. I thought, this looks too severe. It looks like you're going to really be pulling and hurting the horse, so I never bought one.
But then, Jeff visited the Mikmar booth at a horse expo called Equine Affair. There he purchased a Mikmar training bit, took it home, and tried it on his horse named Candy Bar.
On that night I rode, our exercise trainer rode, our other trainer rode, my wife rode, and all of us to a person were impressed with the change in the horse, immediate change in the horse, through the training bit and the Mikmar training bit. They were able to get a headset and feel more at lower pressure levels. So the rider and the horse communicate better with the Mikmar bit. And I was very impressed. And the next day, after riding it, I called your company and ordered 2 more bits. And I don't need any more bits. I've got plenty of bits. Anyone who's watching this video, if you'd like some nice bits, just call me up. I'll be glad to sell them to you, except my Mikmar bits. Those I'm not selling. And I wanted to have a head stall set up for each of our horses, so it's easier for the young girl who rides with us, so she doesn't have to continually change and adjust. So for our 3 riding horses, I wanted them each to have their own bit. And they all ride in nothing but the Mikmar bit now. The Mikmar bit allows you to be a sensitive rider so that you get the same response with less effort. And that's the key to me. To me, the key is response with low effort. So you have better communication. The only thing that my training girl uses now, the only thing she's allowed to use on my horses, is the Mikmar setup, because I know that if the horse acts up, which they will, the Mikmar bit gives her 3 ways of controlling the horse as opposed to 2. She's got her hands, but she's also got the pressure on the nose, and she doesn't have that in any other bit. Now I have mechanical hackamores, and that'll give you the same pressure, but the hackamore will be too severe on the nose, and then you don't have the bit action, and you won't get any flexion in the hackamore. What you'll do is you'll break it at the pole in the hackamore, and that's all it'll do, is break the horse at the pole. Doesn't make any difference. A horse that's broken at the pole can still move forward and run off with you. You have to be able to move your hands to the side in order to break up the neck, so you get an arch in the neck, and you'll swing the shoulder around. The shoulders go around, the back end has to disengage. If the back end is disengaged, you're not going to get hurt. Any of these bits, if the horse grabs it and runs through it, you're not going to disengage the back end. You need the 3 points if you're an inexperienced rider. And the best thing with the Mikmar is I can put an inexperienced rider on a horse and push them beyond the rider's capability, knowing that the bit will help the rider ride better, so that the rider is safer, the horse is not going to be abused. I get the best of both worlds. My horses aren't hurt, the riders are safe, and the horses are being ridden, which means trained properly. Anytime you're on a horse, you have anything in its mouth, you're doing anything, you're training the horse. I can't ride all my horses all the time, so I don't want them being trained badly. The Mikmar bit prevents the inexperienced rider from training the horse badly, because the Mikmar bit gets the horse to give quicker and easier. So the rider gets a better response, the rider's confidence is raised, the rider feels they're riding better. They really aren't. The bit's working the horse better than the rider has the capability of doing.